All right, we'll call this meeting, this special meeting of the Tangier Parish School Board to order this August 13th, 2024. Ms. Jenkins, if you would, please start the roll. Call the roll.
Ms. Dominguez. Mr. Piazza.
Here.
Mr. Moore.
Here.
Mr. Anthony.
Here.
Mr. Duncan.
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland.
Present.
Ms. Abrams.
Here.
Mr. Toller.
You saved me for last? Here.
Ms. Richards.
If you would, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's right.
All right, this time I'll receive a motion to consider approval of our board minutes from our July 30th, 2024 meeting.
So move.
Motion is made by Mr. Toller to approve the minutes as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Westmoreland. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question and ask members to vote your devices.
Voting is open.
Yes, Miss Cindy.
Yes, Miss Cindy.
Having,
Miss Cindy.
having an internet issue.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Next item on the agenda is to consider the report from our Policy Committee of the Whole meeting, which was held on July 30th, 2024.
Motion to adopt.
The motion is made by Mr. Westmoreland to adopt the report.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Piazza. Any discussion? Hearing none, there being no public input, we'll call the question, ask members to vote your devices.
Voting is open.
Yes, Miss Cindy.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
All right, before we take up the Finance and Audit Committee report from earlier this evening, we'll need to waive the requirement under policy BBC that the report lay over for at least 24 hours before final consideration. So I would ask for a motion at this time to waive that requirement.
Motion to waive the rules.
Motion is made by Mr. Westmoreland. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Anthony. This motion will require a majority vote of the board. The explanation for needing to waive that rule is we need to get our budget published so that we can consider it as scheduled. Any discussion on that motion? Is there any public input on that motion? Hearing none, we'll call the question on the motion to waive the rules and ask members to vote your devices.
Voting is open.
Yes, Miss Cindy.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
All right, the requirement being waived, we'll now take up the Finance and Audit Committee report from August 13th, 2024. Is there a motion to adopt the report?
So move.
Motion is made by Mr. Piazza. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Richards. Any discussion on the motion? I would like to point out that our insurance team was able to find us, I believe it was a $500,000 savings on our premium this year compared to last year, and we appreciate that work. Any other discussion? There's being no public input, no other discussion, we'll call the question, ask members to vote your devices.
Voting is open.
Yes, Miss Cindy.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Our final item on the agenda tonight is to declare an emergency related to our mold and mildew remediations that are going on throughout the district. I will read the proposed resolution, and then we can, we'll need a motion to adopt, and then we can discuss it. The proposed resolution reads as follows. A resolution to certify the existence of a public emergency and to provide notice of such emergency as required under Louisiana Revised Statute 38:2212P. Whereas beginning on or about July 30th, 2024, an unprecedented amount of mold and mildew began being discovered in multiple schools throughout the district. This unprecedented outbreak is believed at this time to have been caused by a combination of unusually hot and humid weather, aging facilities, inoperable air conditioning, power outages, and other factors outside the control of the school district. And whereas some of these outbreaks of mold and mildew can pose dangerous health conditions that would make the use of these impacted facilities unavailable for use by the district, whereas remediation and sanitation of these impacted facilities is urgently required in order to minimize the impact on instruction for the district students, whereas Louisiana Revised Statutes 38:2212P1A provides that advertisements for public bids shall not apply in public emergencies, be it resolved and ordained that the Tangipahoa Parish School Board, at a legally convened meeting, hereby certifies that a public emergency exists due to the mold and or mildew outbreak in its buildings and properties as caused by the aforementioned unprecedented events, which requires the immediate remediation, sanitation, construction, or repair of its buildings and related facilities to prevent further damage or to restore its buildings for use, and the purchase of necessary supplies and materials without the necessity of complying with the formalities of Revised Statute 38:2211 at sequence. It authorizes the superintendent of schools and or his designees to negotiate contracts for the remediation, sanitation, construction, and repair of any and all of its buildings and properties, and the replacement of necessary materials that were damaged in order to provide for the continued operation of the public school system of the Tangipahoa Parish School Board. Be it further ordained that notice of the provisions contained in this resolution shall be published in the official journal of the Tangipahoa Parish School Board. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
A motion to adopt the resolution.
Motion is made by Mr. Piazza. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Dominguez. Any discussion or questions related to the resolution? Is there any public input on the proposed resolution? Hearing none, we'll call the question and ask members to vote your devices.
Voting is open.
Yes, Ms. Cindy.
Yes, Miss Cindy.
Oh, yes. Abstained? Hold up.
Yep.
I don't have glasses on.
That's not allowed.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
All right, there being no other business to come before the board, this meeting is adjourned.